Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
City of Romulus City Council regular meeting for Monday, March 24th, 2014. And the roll will show that all members are present with the exception of Councilman Kraut.
He's excused.
So noted. Tonight's agenda is as follows. Number 1, agenda, 2 minutes, 3 petitioner, 4 chairperson's report, 5 mayor's report, 6A clerk's report, 6B treasurer's report, 7 public comment, 8 unfinished business, 9 new business, 10 communication, 11 is warrant 14-06, and 12 adjournment. And a motion would be in order to accept the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Support.
The motion by Ms. McCoskey, supported by Ms. Choke, for the approval of agenda as presented. Ms. McCoskey.
Yes.
Ms. Choke.
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, agenda approved.
Number 2, the minutes, and for approval are the minutes from the regular council meeting held March 10th, 2014.
So moved for March 10th, 2014.
Support.
Motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. McCoskey, for the approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting held March the 10th, 2014. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. McCoskey.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Choke.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, minutes approved.
B, for approval are the minutes from the special meeting, the study session that was held on March 10th, 2014.
So moved for March 10th, 2014 at 6 p.m.
Support.
Motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for the approval of the minutes from the special meeting study session held on March the 10th, 2014. Any discussion? Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. McCoskey.
Yes.
Ms. Choke.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, minutes are approved.
3 is petitioner tonight, Mr. Chair and Council. We do have a petitioner on the agenda, and Mr. Patrick Dunbar. He's here requesting a no-fee permit for a public demonstration from City Hall to the Police Department. And Mr. Dunbar, if you can approach the podium.
Thank you for having me here this evening. My name is Patrick Dunbar. I'm with the organization of Michigan Open Carry. We are a firearms advocacy group, and we'd like to have a bit of a public demonstration in your city on April the 27th at 1 p.m. We'll be marching from City Hall along Goddard Avenue to Oliver, going around the block then from Biddings to Sterling, returning to Goddard and coming back to City Hall.
Any questions?
If I may,
Yes, Ms. McCoskey.
what time, so you start at 1, and what time would you be finished?
I wouldn't expect this to last any more than 2 hours at the
Thank you.
Any other questions?
The only question I have is, you'll work this in conjunction with our police department, I presume?
Absolutely. I'll contact them after this meeting, knowing that we have the permit, so that I can make arrangements with them.
Well, I'll move that we issue the permit, but in that you have to contact the police department, have their approval.
Just before that,
My last question.
just one more question.
How many people do you anticipate that you'll have for this demonstration?
In the past that we've done these, we've had approximately 80 to 100 people.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Ms. Choke.
You say you want to have a public demonstration of what? What do you plan to do?
To march along Goddard in the route that I described, carrying signs advocating for public awareness of the lawfulness of open carry of firearms in the state of Michigan.
And that's all? Just to carry a sign?
Carry signs, maybe hand out some brochures that we have, our standard trifold brochure, nothing more than that.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Just a question, Petitioner. I believe you plan just to use the sidewalk initially, is that the plan, or do you?
Absolutely.
Okay,
No,
so-
we have no
So we don't
plans
need to close the street, you're just going to walk the sidewalk
whatsoever.
downtown and
We
back?
have no
Okay.
plans on impeding traffic or any businesses' operations. And in
Okay.
fact, that's why we're doing this on a Sunday, is so that we could utilize the parking lot here at City Hall to start with and not have any impact upon your operations here too.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Dunbar. That's
I
been
made the motion that we issue the permit, but they do contact the police department.
Support.
Been motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for Patrick Dunbar requesting a no-fee permit for a public demonstration from the City Hall to the Police Department with the involvement with the Romulus Police Department. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Number 4 is the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. First of all, I'd like to yield this time and recognize Mr. Wadsworth.
If I can, I'm going to ask the public to get involved with one of our retired police officers. His name is, I believe we all know I'm talking about, Cliff West. He served in the Romulus Police Department from 1984 until he retired in 2010. Unfortunately, he's now has a debilitating muscle disease, and I happened a couple days ago to look at the little paper, and he has he's got a chance to win a mobile van to use with his wheelchair. And if you go on the little paper website, there's another website that you will click, and you get to vote for Cliff. And as of this morning, he had over 3,000 votes on the website. And, you know, he was a man that helped our town from, like I said, in 1984 till he retired in 2010. And at the very young age of around 53 or 4, he was attacked with this terrible muscle disease. And he, this is a van that actually there's going to be 3 of them. The National Mobility Equipment Dealers Association, in partners with Chrysler and Toyota, are going to be giving away 3 of these vans. Total, I guess they're free. Maybe, Josh, I see you standing up. Are you aware of this? Yes, I am. That's what it's about. He has a chance to win a vehicle for his wheelchair. And so if you go on the little paper website, it's about the 3rd article down. There's a second website you click on. It's very simple. You give your email, you pick a password, and you vote for Cliff. So he needs our help. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Wadsworth. Ms. Choate?
Mr. Wadsworth, I think you can vote numerous times also, or at least once every day.
Well, vote every day then, folks, for him. I'll vote again tomorrow then.
Okay.
Okay.
Under my report, chairperson's report, at 5 o'clock, we had a study session for the Romulus Memorial Cemetery. At 6 p.m., we had the proposed host agreement, which will be explained later in the mayor's report. At 7, we had amended and restated interlocal agreement. At 7:15, we had the city quarterly finance report. I have some hazardous waste material to read for location from Wayne County. And the dates that will be available is three dates. And one is May 3rd, 2014. That'll be at the Wayne County Community College District Western Campus located at 9555 Haggerty Road in Belleville. That's May the 3rd. June the 28th is at the Henry Ford Community College located at 5101 Evergreen Road in Dearborn. Saturday, August the 16th, 2014 at Westland Shopping Center located on Warren Road and Napkin Boulevard in Westland. Fall collection will be announced. I'm just going to read some of the things that you can drop off there. There's household paints, stains, dyes, floor wax, floor care products, carpet cleaners, furniture polish, bathroom cleaners, stain remover, solvents, nail polish, glue, fertilizer, lawn, garden chemicals. That just about covers everything in my garage. Pesticides, antifreeze, motor oil, gasoline, propane tanks, automotive batteries, dry cells, mercury thermometers, fire extinguishers, smoke detectors. If you have any questions that you not clear about what you can bring, I'm gonna give you a number you can contact. And that'll be the Wayne County Resource Recovery Coordinator at area code 734-326-3936. Again, that's area code 734-326-3936. And with that, that concludes the chairman's report.
We'll make a motion to accept the chairperson's report.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Choate, supported by Ms. Roscoe, to accept the chairperson's report. Roll call vote. Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. That's concluded my report. Thank you.
Number 5 is the mayor's report.
Good evening, council, treasurer, clerk, and members of our audience. As I usually do, start off with a quote, have one tonight that'll tie into a message, and it goes as this. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I have been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I have failed over and over in my life, and that is why I succeed. And that was Michael Jordan. And picked that quote tonight because I wanted to give a shout out to our Romulus High School Eagles, boys and girls varsity teams that did an awesome job. And with that, I'd like to yield the floor to Councilwoman Abdo to give some stats and facts about both teams that we should be very proud of. Ms. Abdo?
First of all, I'd like to recognize the girls varsity basketball team, coached by our own Herb Buckley. We won the districts this year. It's the first time in Romulus history that we won a regional championship. The girls went on to play at the quarterfinals, and that's where it ended. The record for the season this year was 21-5. 3 players were awarded all-conference: Bianca Buckley, Sierra Bond, and Jayla Nichols. 2 of these players, Bianca and Sierra, were named in the top 25 players in Michigan, which is quite an honor because I believe there's over 800 girls playing basketball right now. I believe that was what I read. And I'd like to also honor the boys varsity basketball team, coached by Jared Smith. They won their conference this year, 8-0. They went on to the quarterfinals. After we won the districts and the regionals, we lost in the quarterfinals, if all of you were there, a heartbreaking 1 point. And this is pretty much a key accomplishment because they were not even ranked at the beginning of the year. No one thought Romulus was going to do anything because we lost our coach, we lost all our players, but they made it. By the end of the season, they were rated in the top 5 teams in the state. That's in all conferences. Another thing I want to note is our team's chosen to play in Class A with the big dogs, as they say, but technically Romulus is a Class B school. Both the girls and the boys chose to play up for the harder competition. It's something that has to be designated early. And I don't know if we played in B, if it would have been any different. 3 players were awarded all-conference: Deontay Bell, Chris Clyburn, and Tyrone Hamby. So I just like to give them a round of applause for everything they've done.
Thank you, Councilwoman Abdo, and I know I got a chance to go to some games. I know our Mayor Pro Tem, John Barden, was at some, and many others may have caught a few games, but a couple tough teams. They played really hard. They have nothing but pride in what they do. Their sportsmanship was awesome, and they're going to learn from that, get better and better, and next year they may go even further. So
We've already started rebuilding.
Already started
They're still
rebuilding.
They started.
And what I thought would be nice if we could, Mr. Chairman, is maybe if council be willing, do 2 different resolutions recognizing, one for the boys, one for the women, so that we can show them our appreciation and how much they've done for our community.
So moved, Mr. Chairman, that we recognize them with the resolution.
Okay.
Support.
Been motion by Ms. Choate, supported by Ms. Makowski to recognize, we'll go with the girls' basketball team for the accomplishments. Ms. Makowski,
Yes.
Ms. Choate,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Mr. Chairman, I think the history was you sponsored some dinners for the girls' teams several times too that brought them some good luck.
Oh, yeah, thank you, Mayor. And I also mentioned Tyrone Hamby is my nephew, the one who received one of the honors
All conference.
and all conference honors. And like the mayor said, it was a pleasure of helping the teams out, feeding them. Be kind of broke, but you know, I'm still working. But it was a bunch of fun. I love the players and they're a very good team. Thank you.
Thank you.
If we could, one for the men's team.
I'll make that motion.
And I'll support it.
Been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Mr. Wadsworth for the basketball team for the boys. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you very much for that, council. Next, I'm asking for a resolution. This one is actually a memorial resolution. This is for the family of Keith Arnold Matthews, who in past was a firefighter here in Romulus. He passed on March 11th of this year, and asked for a memorial for his family.
So
So-
moved. Oops, go ahead, please.
So
After
moved,
you.
Mr. Chair, for the memorial resolution.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Makowski for memorial resolution. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you for that, council. This one's a celebration resolution I'm asking for, and this is actually for Warren F. Bonham. This gentleman, a 60-plus year resident of Romulus, is going to be turning 90 on April the 14th. He's a father of 11, all of them raised in the city of Romulus, and I think it'd be awful nice if we send our congratulations in way of a resolution to them, please.
So moved that we send out a celebratory resolution for Mr. Bonham, who is turning 90 years old.
Support.
The motion by Ms. Makowski, supported by Mr. Wadsworth for resolution for Mr. Barnum. One story about Mr. Barnum. His son, Bernard Barnum, holds a record for Inkster High School for hitting 64 points in one game. That was his nephew.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Ms. Makowski,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Choate,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council, for that. A couple other things I'd like to bring up before I get into my report for action. In the last week, I told you previously, when it came to roads, we've been working hard on potholes. We had another great effort this last Friday. We did request some additional funding from the state. We were successful. We did receive $100,000 in 2019 out of Public Act 34. That was approved by the Senate as of last week, which was the Senate Bill 608. I'm planning to continue to ask for help on other road projects that are either pre-engineered and ready to go. 100 grand may sound like a lot. It'll really help us just fill a few potholes and do some minor repairs. We're going to go back and try to go to round two and see if we can get some help from our lobbyists to get some other road work done. But just wanted to make you aware of that and the public aware of that also, and we do appreciate that from the state. On an employee side, I wanted to give a shout out to Debbie Hoffman. She's our finance director. She is off had surgery last week, so keep Debbie in your thoughts and prayers. I know she's still thinking about the budget from home, so relax, Debbie, heal up, and we hope to get her back soon. Some other employee things that I wanted to cover briefly with you and for the general public. If we could have Robert McCrate come up. Bob McCrate is our Director of Public Services, which, as you know, he was our interim in that. He is now our full-fledged Director over DPW, Department of Public Works, and Building Department. So what I'd like to do is have Mr. McCrate come up and talk about a couple new additions and changes that we've made within his authority. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Council, Madam Treasurer, Madam Clerk. Yeah, the mayor asked I come up today and kind of give you guys a quick synopsis of the things that we're doing and the changes that were happening over at the Department of Public Services. As some of you know, my name is Robert McCrate. I've been with the city since 2000. I started with the city as a mechanical inspector. In 2004, I was promoted to the position of Assistant Director of the Building and Safety. Once again, in 2008, I was promoted to Director of Building and Safety. In 2013, I was asked by Mayor Burcroft to fill the position of Director of Public Services. That position was created to better utilize existing resources at the DBW, increase efficiency, and create a more customer service friendly environment down there. I immediately began evaluating key administrative personnel as well as individual departments. I wanted to discover what our assets were and what our liabilities down there. It was quickly and easily determined that Roberto Scapitici was underutilized personnel. After working closely with Roberto, it was clear that he shared my goal of a more efficient DPW, as well as increasing our efforts as they pertain to the residents come first and customer service. Roberto worked for an environmental engineering company for a few years prior to him working for OHM, our city's engineering firm, and where he worked for 11 years. Roberto then was hired from OHM to work for the city, where he's been here for 2.5 years in the capacity of assistant director. Roberto was very eager and ready to meet the challenges of the full-time DPW director. I'm very excited about bringing Roberto up to that level and seeing what he's capable of doing. To help him out, we also hired another hometown guy, Keith Bach. He was born and raised in the city of Romulus. He graduated class in 1982. He left the city to serve his country and serve in the Air Force. After he returned from his service to the country, he got a job working for the city of Belleville. He worked for Belleville for 28 years. He started there as a DPW foreman, worked his way up to building official, and then also to Department of Public Services director. Keith will be coming on to help us out on a part-time basis in order to save some funds, but we're also looking forward to seeing what Keith offers as far as the years of experience and what he can help with it in our department. So.
Do we have them stand for the public? Just as Roberto, please stand up. Congratulations. Keith. If I could say one thing also, it's all about the team and good people. We're building a good team, as you can see. And for council, from your perspective, I'm not asking for money, not asking for budget amendments. The changes we made are actually a savings. So with Keith coming on with his experience, he's part-time, non-benefit. We've got talent, and we've got people that can help us get the job done, and we're not asking for more money. So
Right.
That's a good thing.
That's key.
So, thank you. Thanks, Bob. Another point of information I want to bring up, if we could, Mike Williams, St. John Lodge, you here? Can you come up with Brother Jones? And they have an event that they'd like to inform council about. And St. John's Lodge, if you're not aware, they've been active in our community, doing a lot of different events. They do programs for youth, backpack programs. They did a Katrina drive. They're doing a lot of good things in our community. And they have an event coming up, and I just wanted to give them a few minutes of our time to inform the public and all the elected officials about that. So, good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. Mr. Mayor, City Council, and Treasurer. Thank you for allowing us to have some time. My name is Mike Williams, and this is David Jones. And we're members of, and Doris Green was supposed to be here, but he obviously got detained. We're members of St. John Lodge, number 44, Free and Accepted Masons of Romulus, Michigan, Prince Hall affiliate. And we'd like to invite you to a prayer breakfast. And the theme of it is Rising for the Occasion. It's Saturday, April the 12th, 2014 at 9 a.m. at the Wayne Tree Manor. That's at 35100 Van Born in Wayne, Michigan, just east of Wayne Road. We would like for you to come out and help the brothers lift up the name of the Lord in prayer and praise. Our keynote speaker will be the Reverend Darrell Bynum, pastor of the Love Joy Baptist Church in River Rouge, Michigan. Also, other local ministers will participate on the program. This is a fundraiser to support our youth program. Our youth program is something, like you said, that we do every year. Last year we had over 400 children there, and most of you were there. And we like to give our children of the neighborhood and the surrounding communities the opportunity to start out the school year with most of the equipment that is necessary for them to have a good start. And my own personal quote is that a child, you can only judge a child, how do you say it? You can only judge the benefits of a child by what you put in them, the benefits of a child as an adult by what you put into them as a child. So if you put the right thoughts and the right learning in their minds as a child, hopefully when they grow up, they can be a productive person in our community. And the tickets are $25 per person. For information, you can give David Jones here a call at 734-765-8630. That's what I'm saying.
No, Brother Williams about covered everything, but like you were saying, this is 1 hour events to help support our youth day. Our youth day is in August. This will be our 25th year of having our youth day, and we want to make this a big event. Like you said, we did over 400 kids last year. This year, I want to top over 500. I want this to be one of the biggest back-to-school events in Wayne County. So we just asked the city council if you could support us as we try to help our children out for the city of Romulus in Wayne County.
Okay, and also, I'd like to throw out a challenge to the police department.
Okay.
And throw out a challenge to the fire department. In the past, we always have a competition, and the competition is who has the loudest siren. The fire department always win because I think the fire department uses an advantage that the police department don't have, is an air horn on the truck. So this time we're going to do something a little bit different. We want all the members of the fire department and the police department to get their muscles together because we're going to have a tug of war.
All right.
Right.
Now, that's a challenge.
And we're going to eliminate that noise thing because the fire department, I can't say they cheat, but they have an advantage with the air horn.
Well, you know what?
Well, no, we're not going to tie the rope onto the fire truck.
Well, you know what? If they can do that and help kids and help you with your mission, I'm sure they'll be up to that challenge.
We got
So,
the rope and everything
All
from
right.
DTE, and we're going to be waiting.
Thank you.
Thank you very
And-
much.
And if you could pass on appreciation to the rest of your St. John's Lodge, we appreciate all that you do, and anything we can do to help you, we're here.
Thank you. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Next up, I'd like to bring up Mr. Rob McLaughlin and talk about the Mayor's Ball, an event coming up that is going to benefit Boys and Girls Club. Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I'm always here about money. You know, there's a wonderful partnership that goes on between the City of Romulus, Romulus Schools, and the Boys and Girls Club. And the mayor is a member of the board of directors. And the mayor sat down with the committee and said, what can we do as an event to shine the light on Boys and Girls Club and provide a meaningful opportunity to raise some support for the Boys and Girls Club, and to be honest, for us all to celebrate fun and fellowship. With that in mind, we've come up with an annual event called the Mayor's Ball, and this is in partnership with the City of Romulus and the City of Belleville. Both Mayor Burkhoff and Mayor Conley are co-hosting this event. This is not a political fundraiser. This is a fundraiser where 100% of the money will go to our children here in Romulus and Belleville for the Boys and Girls Club. The event will be Friday, April 11th, starts at 6 p.m. at the Romulus Marriott. Your ticket includes your dinner, your cocktails, and DJ entertainment. There will also be a silent auction there. I'm going to hit you each up for tickets. They're $100 a piece, so $200 for you and your beautiful spouse to come, or handsome spouse, to come and enjoy the evening with us. I have tickets with me, and of course you can email me. And for the listening audience at home, my cell is 734-578-5682 if you'd like to order tickets. We'd like to have everybody there, and if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Questions? Thank you,
Nope.
Rob.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. If I could reiterate one thing, as a member of the Southeast Michigan Board that I sit on, I got them to allow us to, when we did extra fundraisers, that we could keep the funds in Romulus and Belleville. So we're trying to do more activities. We do a bowling outing, we do a golf outing, and as Rob said, all the funds will stay and help the kids. This is not a political fundraiser. This is come on out, support the kids, have a good time, and I appreciate your help with that. Now into our business part of the meeting for our report. First item up I have is 5A, and that is, I'm requesting authorization to close Oscar Road from 5 Points North to the north parking lot of Mary Ann Banks Park, and that's going to be from 8 a.m. till 2 p.m. for the 2014 Easter egg hunt, which is scheduled for also Saturday, April the 12th, and the egg hunt actually begins at noon.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Ms. Roscoe.
I'll make that motion to authorize the closure of Oscar Road from 5 Points Corners, just north of the parking lot entrance to Mary Ann Banks Park, from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the 2014 Easter egg hunt, scheduled for Saturday, April 12th, 2014. And the egg hunt begins promptly at 12, and if anybody has gone before, and if you're a few minutes late, you're gonna miss it, because they do start at noon.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Abdo, to authorize the closure of Osgood Road from 5 Points Corner north to just north of the parking lot entrance to Mary Ann Banks Park from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the 2014 Easter egg hunt scheduled for Saturday, April the 12th, 2014. The Easter egg hunt, like you said, begins at 12 p.m. Any discussion?
I have some,
Yes.
Mr. Burden. While we're on the subject of closing the road, I might as well go ahead and announce, for the Easter egg hunt, it does start at noon, but beforehand, over at the Progressive Hall, the Boy Scouts, our Troop 872, is having their world-famous pancake breakfast, and that starts at 9 o'clock and will go to 11:30. And so you can come eat breakfast and then not be late for the Easter egg hunt, and away you go. And it's for children up through the ages of 12. There's lots of prizes, and it's just a lot of fun.
It is.
Thank you, Ms. Roscoe. Roll call, Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council, for that. Next up on 5B is appointment for the Officers' Compensation Commission, and I'm asking for approval for appointment of Linda Collier for the Officer Compensation Committee with a term to expire December 31st of 2020.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make that motion to concur with the administration and approve the appointment of Linda Collier to the Officer Compensation Commission with a term to expire on December 31st, 2020.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Abdo, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, to concur with the administration and approve the appointment of Linda Collier to the Officer Compensation Commission with a term to expire on December 31st, 2020. Any discussion? Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council, for that. 5C is a request to authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the Western Wayne County Fire Department Mutual Aid Association and Mutual Aid Box Alarm System, or MABS division, that was previously discussed.
So moved, Mr. Chairman, for the Western Wayne County Fire Department Mutual Aid Agreement
Support.
and the Mutual Aid Box Alarm System.
Motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Choate, to authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the Western Wayne County Fire Department Mutual Aid Association and Mutual Aid Box Alarm System Division. Any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Ms. Choate,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Makowski.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. 5D, as per we discussed in our earlier study session that the chairman talked about, is a request to authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into an attached host community agreement with Wayne Disposal, Inc. for the purpose of Wayne Disposal, Inc.'s request for their transfer facility to be expanded and included in the Wayne County Solid Waste Management Plan.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Choate.
I would like to authorize mayor and clerk to enter into the host community agreement with Wayne Disposal Incorporated, the WDI, for the purpose of WDI's request for the transload facility to be included in Wayne County Solid Waste Management Plan.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Choate, supported by Ms. Roscoe, to authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the attached host of community agreement with Wayne Disposal, Inc. for the purpose of WDI's request for the transload facility to be included in Wayne County's solid waste management plan. Any
Mr.
discussion?
Chairman?
Discussion?
Yes, I just wanted to bring up to the people that are out there watching that this agreement is for non-hazardous waste hauling, so that it's a, excuse me, it's a benefit to the city of Romulus because we'll be receiving money, yearly money from this, but it's not an increase in the hazardous. It is to give them permission to haul non-hazardous waste. And I think it's important for people to know.
Thank you, Ms. Abdo.
Also, too, if I may, through the chair, another couple of key benefits are they're not, the company is not increasing their capacity of the trucks that are coming in or going out or the rail cars. So they're not increasing their truck capacity. And they've also agreed to reroute the trucks so that it no longer goes down Wayne Road in front of the high school. They have extensive experience handling non-hazardous waste materials, and then it also adds additional inspections that will occur in their facility. So we think it's a good thing.
Right, and just a few more things. It also adds, like, it's a possible, estimate a possible $20,000, $25,000 a year to the city for extra revenue. And also we get like upfront revenue of around $50,000, and it would help different community projects, like the Civic League and different projects throughout the city. So it's a benefit for everyone. Any other?
Yes, the money is being committed to community projects. It's not going to be filtered into our general fund. Therefore, we will see immediate results from some of the money that we possibly will get from this company. When this is approved and up and running, they are going to donate $50,000 to the city of Romulus. They estimate, and again, it's just an estimate, an average of $25,000 a year that we could be receiving for that for our community events programs.
Mr. Barton?
Yes.
If
Mr.
I
Wadsworth.
can, unfortunately, I intend to vote against this, but it's not a reflection of either one of these companies. I think that they're professional, and I think they have integrity, but I'm just against out-of-state waste.
If I could reiterate a couple things, Mr. Chairman, that were said. One, the non-hazardous actually has the potential to lessen the hazardous, so that's a good thing. My pledge to you, and the way the agreement is worded that I would plan to sign with your authorization, is to earmark those funds so that those things could be used as it's worded in the document, which are for additional community programming, recreation, others. They're not just going to roll into and you would have say in where we're obviously sending those funds. But as it was discussed in our study session, I want to thank the folks from EQ that came in and provided a ton of information. Our police department, myself, and others went out and did site inspections, and I think there's a ton of benefits to this, so I appreciate them coming in and doing an awesome presentation. We had a lot of great questions from council. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, if I could just say one more thing.
Sure, Ms. Councilman.
Just some clarifications. The waste that we currently get, it's all hazardous waste materials, and we do currently get that from out of state, northeast of the United States, so New Jersey, et cetera. So the only change we're looking at is increased inspections, increased money for our community, for community-based projects, and then an increase in non-hazardous shipment, and reducing hazardous. It's an absolute win. So that's all I've got to say on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mikowski. Roll call vote, Ms. Choate,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth,
No.
Ms. Mikowski,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council, and with that concludes my report.
6A is the clerk's report, and 6A1, before I read this, I just want council to know, or before you take action on this agenda item, we do have a request from a resident that would like to speak on behalf of item number 6A1. So it's for an approval to establish a new polling location and move precinct 12 from Merriman School to the Romulus Athletic Center And due to the closing of Merriman School, it is the recommendation of the Romulus Elections Commission, which met on March the 14th, that council approve the Romulus Athletic Center located at 35765 North Line Road be established as the new polling location for Precinct 12. The new location will provide more parking spaces, more room in the polling location, and the building is ADA compliant. Also, it will allow Precinct 12 to remain within the same outlined precinct boundaries. Michigan election law requires that the establishment, move, and/or abolishment of a polling place be done not less than 60 days before an election, which makes the deadline June the 6th. Also, it does require for council's approval after it's been gone through the election commission as well. The clerk's office will notify all of the registered voters that will be affected by this move and post the necessary public notices. So, Mr. Chair, I don't know if you want to make the motion or call the resident up at this, at this time before you all.
Yes, I'd like to hear from the residents.
The resident is Virginia Williams.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Clerk, and Treasurer. I would just like to ask Council, had the Election Commission discussed with the council members any other locations of this new Precinct 12 location?
The law requires the Election Commission to make that determination, and then the Elections Commission would make the recommendation to council for council's approval.
As I said, did the Election Commission, which consists of the clerk, Ms. Ellen Braggs, the chairperson, Mr. Barton, and our mayor, Mr. Leroy Belcroft, am I correct? Just in consideration, I just wanted to ask the council, how many people, in the last election, 307 people voted in Merriman. Wouldn't it be more feasible to put them over at Hell Creek instead of putting them on the other side of the airport?
We met, we also met with the superintendent and her administration, and we discussed all of the possibilities of where the voters could go, and it would, sure, Hell Creek would probably be the more logical place, but the problem with Hell Creek is that those are two large precincts, two large voter turnout precincts. The parking is limited, and the concern is on a large election, it would be too congested for voters in that in that area there. So we looked at all the possibilities. We looked at the parking and scoped it out. It would be a problem there with parking and then just the congestion in the building. Again, Merriman is, and on regular elections, state elections and local elections, it does have a very low voter turnout. But during the presidential, we had a huge voter turnout. We had 1,279 voters that turned out at Merriman School. And, historically, it's always been a low voter turnout, but we want to make it convenient and be prepared for 2016. We don't want to move the voters again. Sure, we could move them to Hell Creek, for this year's elections, but then for the presidential in 2016, we would have to move them again. So to alleviate having to move our voters, particularly in that precinct, any precinct, to have to keep moving them and changing them, if we can get a good, solid location, then that would avoid having to move the location. We also, in addition, looked at Barth School, because there's only one precinct. They're the railroad tracks. And again, we want to encourage people to come out and vote. If they went to Barth, they could possibility of getting caught up by a train. That could discourage a voter from voting. And we want to encourage our voters to vote. It's only 3.31 miles. We looked at the mileage as well. But the rack is a great location. parking, ADA compliant, just more room overall. It's a positive place. And two, when you look at those that are campaigning and poll workers, it's just room. You know, it just makes more sense and it's more feasible to have it there. And so that's why it was determined for the athletic center.
Well, and you're saying parking clerk, but it just depends on what's going on at the rec on that particular day of parking, because sometimes even just the regular activities of the rec as a member, you can end up parking way toward the back. So the parking shouldn't really be that much of an issue. My concerns is that, I wanted to know that the council consider, after receiving their package, did they consider any other location before you brought this to them? Had you thought about the police, not the police department, but the fire department, which is, I'm not saying, I don't know if they have the room, but I'm just saying, when you make decisions like this, like in anything else, you should consider the residents. Now, I don't live in that particular precinct, but yet and still, the residents should know before you make it, not after. And maybe they would have had input on it. I know a resident contacted me, and that's why it came up. Because she suggested maybe the fire department, because it keeps them on the opposite side of the airport.
Mr. Chairman, could I answer that? I sit on that commission as well, and her question was, did we bring any other proposals to council? No. We looked at all options. I considered Fire Station 4. We have had experience with another fire station that was a polling place. There's a lot of complications with that. It would be geographically closer, yes, but some of the issues that came along with that I felt would be possibly disruptive, because we have one entryway in that's also emergency entry for the fire trucks. We looked at Barth, we looked at options with the schools. The thing that we liked about the Romulus Athletic Center, and I personally spoke with Andy about it, is could we have what do they call it, the ballroom, or the room with a separate entrance, that we even had some alignments for barricades so people could come directly in, not disrupt his activities, have lots of room for workers and polling place, and make it as less intrusive and more inviting. So that was the determination of the committee. So we didn't bring a bunch of them to council. We looked at them all, and we looked at, as the clerk said, miles, driving, Barth, the tracks, issues that we have. I considered the fire department. And unfortunately, with the Merriman School closing, we have to come up with a change. So that I felt comfortable that, based on our homework and what we talked about with the schools, that it will be the least intrusive and the most inviting to voters and less disruptive. So that's, from my perspective as a person on the committee, we did try to look at all the options.
So you're saying if this is what the council approved, you'll be using the athletic center small gym?
No, the ballroom, where they have the chamber events
Okay,
and so
the
forth.
ballroom.
There's
Banquet room?
Banquet room, thank you. Where they have a separate external door, so we could literally have people come in,
Okay.
check in, register. We can still have the legal, feedback from where they are, still accommodate that. Andy felt that would work, no problem. What he said to me is, he said, I would be honored. And so he felt there was absolutely no problem whatsoever. So that was the only option that we felt was the best to bring to council, but it's ultimately up to them.
Okay, well, like I said, if you don't know, you won't ask. So I was just addressing it to council to see if any other location had been, offered to them before they make their vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Okay.
I'm going to move that we approve the establishment of the polling location, move from precinct 12 at Merriman School to the Romulus Athletic Center.
Support.
And just a quick comment, I think it's the best choice of all the choices that were just mentioned.
Thank you. Motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Makowski, for the approval to establish a new polling location, move precinct 12 from Merriman School to the Romulus Athletic Center. Any other discussion?
Yes, I'd just like to make one point. I really like what I've been seeing lately, the process-focused approach to, like, for example, Ms. Page earlier, the process focus, how she went about and did our requests for quotes, et cetera, for better banking, fees, structures, et cetera. And I would have to say the same thing about the commission that worked on this. You know, pulling key people in at the various venues, considering the railroad tracks and all that. So, well done. Just keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Makowski. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
6A2 for second reading and final adoption are the amended policies numbers 13, policy number 17, policy number 18, policy number 22 and 23, 24 and 25, and new policy number 32, the social media. These policies were introduced at the council meeting on March 10th, 2014.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Ms. Roscoe?
I'll make that motion that we approve second reading and final adoption of amendment policies 13, 17, 18, 22, 23, 24, and 25, and new policy 32, social media.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Choate, for the second reading and final adoption of amended policy 13, 17, 18, 22, 23, 24, and 25, and the new policy 32, social media. Any discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
6A3 for second reading and final adoption is the amended Code of Ordinance, Code of Ethics, Romulus Code of Ordinance. This was introduced at the council meeting of March 10th, 2014.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Ms. Makowski?
If I may, I would like to move that we adopt the second reading and final adoption of the Code of Ethics in the Romulus Code of Ordinances.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Makowski, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, for second reading and final adoption of the Code of Ethics, Romulus Code of Ordinance. Any discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth? Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Before I close out my report, I've been asked to make this announcement. It's from the Glory and Praise Tabernacle. They're having a fish fry fundraiser on Thursday, April 3rd, and this will be held at the Coleman Center. On the menu is fried catfish, green beans, coleslaw, bread, and dessert, and for a small fee of $10. If you would like to, have this great meal for lunches, they are delivering, and you can contact, I believe it's Jesse, and the number is 313-862-7073, or you can log on to their website, which is www.gptcogic.org. And again, this is a fundraiser held at the Coleman Center, and they will deliver. So that day, if you want lunch, if you would like catfish for lunch, you can give them a call, and they will deliver your lunches for you.
What
And
day?
we'll have this information available.
What day, I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, it's Thursday, April the 3rd.
April 3rd, thank you.
Right, and it's going to happen all day, and again, it's for the small fee of $10.
What's the time frame, Madam Clerk?
You know what, they did not give me the time. I'm assuming it's going to be from about 11, it's going to be during the day.
You can call. me.
Yeah, we'll call and get some more information, but this is all that was
You said it's at
handed.
the Coleman Center?
Yes, it'll be held at the Coleman Center.
Thank you.
That will close out the clerk's report. 6B is the treasurer's report.
Good evening, council, mayor, clerk, and audience. I have several items under my report. First, I wanted to just make a comment about the Easter egg hunt. I did attend with my children last year. It was fantastic. This year, our DDA, as well as the Romulus Wesleyan Church, are doing the program together. Lots of toys. Every child walked out with a toy. So if it's in your heart to give and you'd like to help out the kids, there are a lot that do attend, and you'd like to donate some toys, it would be greatly appreciated. Secondly, I'd like to say kudos to the mayor. Right now, the roads, we're trying to repair them. I think you're doing a great job. The fact that there's money out there and that you're actively seeking to get that money is fantastic. That's exactly what you're supposed to be doing. I appreciate it as a resident. Thank you. Also, I wanted to notice or mention that the mayor's ball on April 12th, that is formal wear, so make sure that you dress for that occasion. Also, I wanted to let everyone know, my job as treasurer is to collect tax. And although the real property tax went to the county, we have the personal property tax. I've mailed out a letter to those businesses that still owe. The second letter is going out this week. I urge you to contact me if you owe delinquent personal property tax. I want to work with you. I want to keep you in business, but you must pay your taxes. So please respond to my letter. Finally, tonight I did our quarterly investment report. That activity was from September 30th, 2013 through December 31st, 2013. On the report, it gave a description of some of the investment types. They're all allowed in the investment policy. It's my job to make sure that the money that I invest is safe, that the money is available when we need it to cover our operating expenses, payroll, and so forth, and that we get the best interest rate that we can get. There are rules that I must follow. We can do that up to 250,000, increments of 250,000, and we can only go out for a short period of time because of the way that the cash flow has been, and we want to make sure that the money's there to pay the bills. With that activity, during that quarterly report, we started with $31,294,569.87, and we ended on 12/31/2013 with $16,253,299.63. That is a big difference. There are bills that need to be paid. There are twice a year that we do big collections. That is in September as well as in February. That's when I'm collecting your tax dollars. We invest what we can. We make sure that we have a cash flow analysis. The funds are available to pay the bills as needed. Majority of that money went into a money market that was with our primary bank. And the purpose of doing that, it is non-interest. However, there is a cash analysis, and what it does is it offsets the service charges. Services are not cheap. Every time you make a deposit, you make a withdrawal, a check is returned, there are lots of fees out there. So in order to offset those costs, we did a cost analysis because that was what was most beneficial for us. So instead of costing the city close to $40,000, it costs the city a little over $9,000 for a year's worth of service charges. So although you're not earning interest on that money, you're avoiding paying $30-some thousand in fees. So I just want you to know I'm working hard, investing the money, doing the best that I can. I have a great relationship with our relationship manager, constantly, at least quarterly, sitting down with them, finding out what's available and what's best for the city. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Page.
Is public comment, and this is a portion of our meeting where those in the public audience can address council with your comments. If you would like to address council, please raise your hand. After you've been acknowledged by the chair, we ask that you approach the podium and state your name, and that you please limit your comments to 3 minutes. We do not have any written request.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience who would like to make a comment? Yes, come forward, please.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Gina Stewart, Telegram newspaper. Anyway, good evening, Mayor, Council, citizens of Romulus. I just had a couple of questions as it related to the Wayne disposal. We've been following up on a couple of stories on Petco traveling through the neighborhoods, and it's hazardous materials. So I wanted to just get an idea on you said it's non-hazardous material that will be traveling through the city with Wayne disposal, but you said it would not be going down Wayne Road, if that was correct?
Correct.
And which road would it be going down?
Mayor.
I can answer that if I could, through the chair.
Sure.
they're currently are doing hazardous and traveling a certain route. What part of this agreement would allow us to do is change the route. There's 2 locations that the non-hazardous would go to. They would be basically traveling east to Merriman Road, going south on Merriman to I-94. Some of it may go to a plant in Detroit, which would go eastbound. Some may go to the Wayne Disposal Landfill in Van Buren Township, which would go west on 94. Currently, they travel Wayne Road is the route that does come through in front of the high school and so forth in residential areas. So that was just one of the benefits that we're able to do, is get them to change the route. Not going to increase number of trucks, just going to be able to change the route. And remember, this is non-hazardous. So a lot of times people get confused with hazardous. The law is that they have to come to the local government for a host agreement for non-hazardous. It's interesting that they don't for hazardous, but for non-hazardous, the local community does have a say. So what we had done is very extensive research with our public safety. We did site visits. We were able to put together a package to City Council that, with their blessing, we're able to approve. That's going to now allow them to do non-hazardous, and that does have the potential, not necessarily, but does have the potential to lessen hazardous and also have us direct it. And not just safety is number one, but the side benefit that was a win-win that was talked about quite extensively is the fact that we're going to now be able to get a one-time revenue for signing the agreement, and then 25 cents per ton additional as that moves forward on the non-hazardous portion. So what I've committed to City Council is that we're going to earmark that. The way the host agreement is written is so that it'll allow us to do community activities, recreation, groups in the community that need help with funding. Civic League was mentioned, and some others that don't really have much of a revenue stream right now, and it's something that we can do and earmark in our budget. It's not going to just roll into the general fund. We're going to make sure that whatever that tonnage is moving forward, that we will commit that for those projects. So I hope that helps a little bit.
Yeah, it does. I just had a question as it related to non-hazardous and hazardous. So is it saying that the amount of hazardous was going down Wayne Road, that will be reduced?
They've pledged to change the route, so that will, as we approve this agreement, the agreement is that the route will change from Wayne Road over to Merriman Road and go south, which we felt would be much better route, actually.
So, last thing, I know that you said there's a financial gain for this
Sure.
project. So is it you said the trucks is not gonna increase?
Correct, because
But
they have limited capacity.
So is it the amount per truck that's going to, you said the tonnage, something about
Correct.
the tonnage is gonna go
Correct.
up. So that means that the trucks will be carrying more?
No, I didn't say the
Stuff or
tonnage will be going up. I said the amount of non-hazardous will increase. So that's what the tonnage, the 25 cents per ton is on. Currently, we get nothing on the hazardous portion. And they're not required to come to us, honestly, by law. So,
Do you mind if I just show?
Sure, go ahead.
See, this blue bar is all the hazardous waste that they ship now. So they're going to increase the non-hazardous and then decrease the hazardous. So that will be the ending.
in fact, Gina, I'd be willing to give you a copy if you'd like of the PowerPoint that they put on. We had an hour-long study session. They've got some great information, so I'd be more than willing to provide that to you.
Okay. The big picture is if they're not, the hazardous is not going down Wayne Road, then where is it going? Are they having
Same
less?
route. Same route. All the trucks will do the same route down Van Born, then to Merriman, to 94.
Correct.
And then either east or west on Merriman, or 94.
94.
Instead of Wayne Road.
Oh, okay. The chart that you showed was a lot, and then it was going to be less.
Oh, it's split now, so sorry. The chart still, this is the quantity, this is at capacity.
Yes.
So this
So
is
same
what they're
volume.
doing now, all hazardous waste. They're gonna split it and do non-hazardous waste now, and then less, so increase what they don't do now. So non-hazardous waste. So it's reducing hazardous waste, which is great.
Yes, it's reducing hazardous waste in this area. So my question would be, where is that hazardous waste still going? it gotta get to the end result somewhere. It might
Yeah, it's
be
not coming to
Romulus.
us.
It's not coming to this area. A lot of this is coming
That's
from
what I was asking.
outstate, northeast and so forth. And it's all coming by rail because rail's the most economical way to do it. So it's not like it's being shifted to some other community.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. If
Yeah,
it
I
was
don't
not
know.
going
Okay.
this way, where was it going?
Sure. And I'd be happy to provide this to
Oh,
you.
that'd be
And
great.
we had a
Thank
great
you.
study session and you had good questions.
Okay.
Thank
Good.
you, Gina.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, you're welcome. Anyone else in the audience? Okay, we will close out that part.
8 is unfinished business. 9, new business. 10, communication. 11, for approval, is warrant 14-06.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Choate?
I'd like to make a motion that we pay warrant 14-6 for general operating fund, $92,752.77. Major Street Fund, $19,541.13. And the local street fund, $8,635.99. Merriman Road Special Assessment, $413.02. Sanitation Fund, $471.93. The 911 Fund, $2,676.59. Law Enforcement, $1,507.90. Narcotics Enforcement Fund, $12,910.05. Senior Center Construction Fund, $398,860. Water and Sewer, $191,782.70. Motor Vehicle Fund, $33,515.98. Technology Services, $4,635.44. Retirees Insurance Benefits, $200,245.16. And the Payroll Fund, $215,145.48, for a grand total of disbursement, $1,183,094.14.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Choate, supported by Mr. Makowski, to pay warrant number 14-06 for $1,183,094.14. Any discussion? Ms. Choate,
Yes.
Ms. Makowski,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, warrant 14-06 will be paid.
Number 12 is adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
In motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe for adjournment. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. We are adjourned. Thank you.